We mentioned it to Sadhguru. It said, Sadhguru, we're planning to apply. And he very clearly said, look, although I founded the school runs very independently from me. They make their own decisions on everything. So don't expect anything from me.
It was the first marriage here in Ashram?
Ours was the first sort of large-scale wedding in the ashram. And Sadhguru, even though he was traveling, he was abroad, he personally attended to every single detail, from the invite to the font. I also wonder, he is an enlightened being. He's on a different level of perception and understanding of the world. How is he still able to relate to us, regular people with all our problems and biases? Because he sees it like that. Sometimes he'll only cook, and when he cooks, it's very spicy, the food.
This is my own unique masala.
Once he had made this masala annamo, masala bhat. It was so spicy, and now my kids are a lot better with spice, but those days they used to really struggle. And then I remember he said, "Yem ma ni bidlo, Telugu maatladaledu, kaaram bhojanalu tinaledu, yem penchutandamma."
A word of caution and warning is, if you eat this ragi roti, you may become enslaved to me for life.
How he's given his every drop of everything in his being and beyond to what? To what exactly? Is it personal? Building something for himself? Clearly not. It's that endless compassion for humanity. In fact, I think last time I met him, I said, Sadhguru, how do you have so much compassion for fools like us? I'm obviously enjoying being here. I'm giving whatever I'm able to. But I'm not at that level to see my life as an offering. I strive to be there. Sincere pranam to all the volunteers who see their lives as, they give their lives as an offering. I don't think there's anything above that.
Have you gone to a stage where he being physically present doesn't matter to you anymore? Where are you?
It would be unbearable to even think.
Have you ever thought the day will come?
I don't want to think about it. I'm scared to even, I'm sure he knows, but I don't want to know.
You got to tell about your marriage.
Yeah.
It was the first marriage here in Ashram?
I think there were a few weddings before that, but I think ours was the first sort of large-scale wedding in the ashram. And Sadhguru, even though he was traveling, he was abroad, he personally attended to every single detail, from the invite to the font to the motifs. Yes. It was like a threefold invite. The colors, obviously Swami's, the art team, all of that, my parents. And even the events itself, we had a mehendi. We had a mehendi ceremony in Nalanda. We had an evening reception in Peppervine. It was transformed. They had these toranams hanging with lotuses. It was magical. It was like a fairyland. There was sounds of Isha sitting in one corner. Yeah.
Okay.
There was sounds of Isha playing in one corner. There was food. Oh my gosh.
It was a square at the center, right? Those days?
Yes, Akka.
Yeah?
Yes,
And
you're
then,
right. Yes, around it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But the way it was in the morning to what they transformed it to in the evening was unbelievable. Like, we were shell-shocked at how beautiful it was. So we underwent a small ritual, and then the whole wedding party walks to Spanda Hall. Again, no instructions have been given. We just walk there. We go there. All the guests are seated on the grass, and under the mantapam, they make Jay and me sit. We're just sitting there staring. We're like a deer in the headlights because we don't know what to do with our hands, how to sit, nothing. We're just sitting there. And then I think Radhe and another little boy, they come, and then Sadhguru comes, and then they do, I think, Bhuta Shuddhi, the fire ritual. It was very simple. We exchanged garlands. That's it. It was done. And then we're like, okay, now what? The crowds part. And they come and hand us dandiya sticks. And Jay and I look at each other saying, what are we supposed to do here? And then Sadhguru says, go dance with the homeschool kids. And the homeschool kids do these wonderful performances and they pull us along, something we do. Obviously, we've not rehearsed, nothing. But it was just so memorable. And after that, we had this performer called Isha Sharwani. She did this wonderful aerial rope dance in the Spanda Hall, like really high up. And her brother played the drums. It was just fantastic. Even till date, my friends talk about it.
And everything was planned by Sadhguru.
Everything is planned by Sadhguru, yeah.
So, both Jay's parents and your parents, everybody, the entire family was here?
Yeah, and we had friends and it was like one of those destination weddings in those days, which was not even a thing then, because they come and stay in the beautiful ashram and people were blown away. Even people who had never sort of visited Isha for the first time, even some of Jay's friends, they came from Japan and Germany. They were in awe of this space and they didn't think such a beautiful place could exist. Isha has always been another home for me. It's the most familiar place to me apart from my parents and my in-laws' homes, obviously, because I know the people here. I know how loving and welcoming they are. So when we made the decision to bring the kids to school here, it was a no-brainer. Probably some other boarding school in India, we would not even have considered it. But Isha homeschool.
Okay. Did you ever got to discuss about Sadhguru to your dad? How was he like a little brother to your dad?
They were so close in age, so I wouldn't say that little brother thing was there. They were sort of partners in crime. They did all their naughty, adventurous things together.
So you were saying that Sadhguru never gives any unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
But is there a time that you badly needed his advice? I know you spoke about the marriage. Any other time you felt, Sadhguru, just tell me what I need to do?
Yeah.
And did you or he reach out?
So having had Isha in my life, all my life, it's always been at the back of my mind that I will end up in Isha. Yes, right now I'm living in the US. I have my corporate career going. I'm doing well. I have my kids, young kids, lots, how it is, young kids, activities, running the house. It's endless. Especially in the US, you're doing everything on your own. But back of my mind was always, I will end up in Isha. But I thought, okay, when kids are older, when they're in college. And even the unspoken question in my mind, every time I met Sadhguru was, it was here. I wanted to say, Sadhguru, I want to come work for you. But I would never vocalize it because I was so scared he'd say, okay, come now. I was not ready for that answer. So 2 years ago, when we had come on a visit to Isha, we came to the school, we took a tour, we met with Millie, the principal, director. And after many years of deliberating over sending our kids here, finally, Jay was like, you know what, let's do it. Let's send the girls. So we took part in the admissions, all of that. And around Jan last year, I was in the office. Sadhguru gives me a call. And I told him, Sadhguru, the interviews happened, admissions, we're doing the fees and all of that. He said, yeah, I heard. You're coming with them. I said, what? I said, no, Sadhguru, I just got a promotion. I cannot come. I want a year or two. He's like, no, you're coming with them. So the unspoken question, in a way, he answered it for me without me asking for it. Obviously, I had a little bit of upheaval in terms of the timing because I was not ready to walk away from it, the career. And the career, you pour yourself into it.
Everything is so sorted there.
It is. And you think you have it figured out because, you know how to run your house. You think you have a plan for your career. Suddenly, when he said, you're coming, why am I feeling this inside? I know this is what I want to do. I trust him blindly. But why am I struggling with it? But obviously, I trusted him. I came. So I've been volunteering at Isha Homeschool. And my kids are here as well. I helped with a couple of different things. And I have to say, it's exceeded my expectations of anything I could have ever imagined. I never thought I'd be in a school or enjoy it. But now I love it so much. I tell everyone that I get to attend Isha Homeschool minus all the exams. It's the best. Absolutely love living in the ashram, being at the school. Thanks to him. If he hadn't given me a solid nudge.
So when did this upheaval kind of settle within you? Did it take a long time, or you had to speak to Sadhguru again?
Yeah. So like I said, I was in distress a little bit. So I was going ahead with it, but I was not fully settled within myself. And in my mind, I kept thinking, I want to speak to Sadhguru. I want to speak to Sadhguru, but I didn't necessarily want to reach out to him. It's almost as if he reads my mind. He calls me one day. Again, I'm in the office and I burst into tears. I said, Sadhguru, nobody's telling me what I'm going to be doing. Because I said, I'm a planner. I like to know what is next. I said, nobody's telling me what I'll be doing. Nobody's telling me where I'll be staying. What do I do, Sadhguru? He's like, have you become such an American that you need to know every step of every way? Can't you just let things be? And he said, will I not take care of you? Will I leave you on the streets? Am I not there for you? I said, yes, Sadhguru, but nobody's telling me what I'll be doing. Because I was like, I'm leaving everything that I know is working well for me. And coming to do what exactly? No one's telling me. So that was my own limitation of wanting to know what is next. What am I going to be doing? Needing to have those concrete steps in front of me in order to take the first steps instead of just going
Jump
and
into-
seeing what happens. Yeah.
That one phone call, were you ready? Were you
Yes.
let yourself become vulnerable to this
Yes.
place, to the process
Yeah.
and everything?
So after that, I settled, obviously.
Mhm.
And then I said, okay, Sadhguru, done. I'm fine.
And what did Jay say?
Jay was always, when he'd see me crying, he's like, what is wrong with you? All your life you've spoken about wanting to go to Isha. Now it's happening for you. Why are you crying? What is wrong with you? And he knew me being strong was kind of the core of it. Because if I'm unsure and shaky, the kids are going to reflect off of that energy, right?
Yes.
They would also feel like, if mama's not sure, why are they sending us? If she's not happy, why are they sending us?
Mm-hmm.
So he was trying to be strong for me. That helped.
It's a very beautiful, matured
Yes,
expression.
absolutely. Yeah. And he's even said, he's like, I'm dying inside for all my girls to be away from me, but I know it's for the best. For the girls, definitely it's for the best. And for you, I know what you always wanted. So I won't stop you.
So when is he going to come here?
We're working on that. And I would say the first time in my life, I've just letting go of things has been so liberating for me. Because hanging on tightly to things going to plan, things going according to my expectations has been exhausting, to be honest, all my life. In the house, I can understand you're trying to manage the schedules and run the house and work and all of that. But for the first time in my life, I'm just letting things go, like going with the flow, as they say, and being open to everything. And it's been amazing, like the amazingly interesting things I've gotten to do at homeschool and just being around the volunteers here, the commitment that they have. They see their lives as a service. The volunteers at the ashram, being in this consecrated space, and the homeschool children. I am blessed from many lifetimes to be able to live this life. Seriously. Yeah.
So why don't you tell about life in homeschool?
Mm-hmm.
How does it go?
So the first few months, I spent a lot of time talking to many of the volunteers who've been here for a long time. And all these years, I understood volunteering as something you do, when you have some free time, you're doing something for someone else. But actually living here amidst the people in homeschool and ashram in general, I'm seeing that difference in how they see their lives as an offering. How can you dedicate your lives as an offering? That is so touching to me. I'm not there yet. I'm obviously enjoying being here. I'm giving whatever I'm able to, but I'm not at that level to see my life as an offering. I strive to be there. So sincere pranam to all the volunteers who see their lives as, they give their lives as an offering. I don't think there's anything above that. And that dedication and attention to detail for every aspect of all the children's well-being, safety, education, overall, awareness. The different obviously in a school, the different situations arise, good, bad, how they handle it, the sensitivity, everything is for the children's well-being. Whatever it is, everything. And obviously we run 7 days a week, right? School. So most of these people, they don't take a day's break, Akka. They work like that from early in the morning to late at night, endlessly, all to ensure that the children have the best possible environment and experience and upbringing. You cannot pay for that kind of school anywhere else. You cannot get that anywhere. That kind of love and commitment.
Most of the children, they don't want to go from here.
Yeah.
And many of them want you to come back and what this place means to them.
Yeah. I could not have asked for a better school for my own children. Truly blessed to be here.
So now that your children are here, do you see Sadhguru having a secret attention on your children, especially because he wanted you here and he said put your children in homeschool. So was it a recommendation? How did he, how did your kids get in? Because it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Thousands of applications and I don't know, maybe we take 200 kids.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So not 200. I don't think so. We are taking 200.
Not even. Different intake points, maybe like 100. Yeah. Since homeschool was started, I've always wanted my children to go here. But it took many years to convince Jay because obviously girl dad, he's very, very attached to the girls. He's like, no way, how can I live without my children? So it took a long, long time. But when he was on board, we mentioned it to Sadhguru. It said, Sadhguru, we're planning to apply. And he very clearly said, look, although I founded the school runs very independently from me. They make their own decisions on everything. So don't expect anything from me. Your kids will have to get in on their own merit.
Really?
So he made that very clear. Yes.
No recommendation?
No. Yeah.
Did you feel he's very rude?
No, I really appreciate that about him, that what he says outside is exactly the way he is as a person in terms of the morals, doing the right thing. It's not flexible for family or flexible for somebody. It's not like that. What applies to everyone applies to me also. Even sometimes, so because I'm part of the faculty, I get to have my kids come and have dinner with me once a week and they can stay with me once a month. And I think once he had called me for dinner and I told him the kids are probably going to be with me. Can I bring them? He said, no. Don't bend the rules. Don't bring them. I said, no, Sadhguru, I'm not bending any rules. Whatever's allowed only I'm doing. And I've checked with the school. So he's very particular about doing things by the book. There's no bending. There's no, my niece.
Even within his own organization.
Absolutely not. No, nothing of that sort. Yeah. And plus he wants to be mindful of the fact that they could go back to school and say, oh, guess where I went for dinner. He doesn't want them to be on an uneven footing or anyone else to be on uneven footing with them in any way. So they are like any other child in homeschool. I'm like any other teacher / volunteer in homeschool. No special provisions, no special anything. And I want it to be that way. I don't want anybody to point a finger.
Attention being given to them.
Not at all.
It's amazing actually to see someone be with that kind of an integrity.
Yeah. Yes. Integrity is the word. Absolutely.
No.
There's no less today, more tomorrow. What is there, irrespective of how popular or who feels what, who says what. That integrity is always on, 100%.
So Sadhguru is always available to you in the form of a grace or energy. He's also available to you over phone.
Yeah.
So has he texted you just from all of a sudden, just like that?
Yeah.
He does that?
Yeah.
Asking what? If you may say, we can share.
So I typically send him pictures. I'll say, oh, kids performed today, or Sadhguru, we went on vacation. I'll send some pictures. He'll say blessings, or he'll send some forwards. Or if I see something on Instagram or something, I'll send it to him. I'll say, look at this, so cute.
Like that, you share reels? Does he also share reels with you?
Yeah.
He does. So you used to say that when you meet Sadhguru, sometimes you used to wonder the amount of time he spends with you with undivided attention. Talking about a variety of topics, why not we share that experience?
Sure. Obviously, now that I live in the ashram, I get to see him a lot more frequently than we used to. That's been wonderful because if Radhe or Sandeep are there, they'll call and say, come for dinner. So I go. So we usually talk a variety of topics. Just because he has a sense of laser sharp clarity, he can see things the way they are without being bent by a certain bias. Because I feel all media outlets, they're either right-leaning, left-leaning. It's very hard to truly understand things for what they are, right? At least I don't have that intellectual capacity or that clarity. So I always like to bring up current affairs, like the current war in the Middle East. I'll bring it up and I'll ask him a question saying, why is this happening? Or do you see a way out of it? So he'll usually offer his perspective on things. Yeah. And sometimes in that moment, you're like, really? That doesn't make sense. But eventually something else will happen and you're like, oh, see, he said it then. Not like a prediction, but he can see who is doing it with what intention, what could be the possible ripple effects, what could be the possible outcomes. So it's always great to get that perspective.
On the world affair, you mean?
Yeah. And even in terms of my personal life, sometimes I go to him for advice, parenting advice. He's always, I think even publicly, he talks about how important a role a mother plays in the children's lives and how the way she conducts herself, what she does, how she talks to the child, how her mood is, all of that plays a very significant impact, right? More than probably any other member in the house. So he's always given me some things to think about as a mother as well. And I go to him with questions saying, this is happening, say teenage phase or, talking back phase, things like that. And he'll usually offer advice on those. And actually, I forgot to mention, when I was pregnant with my first child, he had told me, he said, do these certain exercise, it'll help, open up the hip and the pelvis for delivery. He said, I want you to eat 50% raw. I want you to walk 4 or 5 kilometers a day. So I followed that to a T and I had such a smooth delivery.
So when you and Sadhguru meet and you said you talk for hours together, who does more talking? You or Sadhguru?
I usually pose the questions to him and I like to hear him talk. Obviously, what do I have to say to him?
So generally, does Sadhguru also take you as a reflection of the society about what is going on, in people's mind and what is the trouble people have or what is going on in the WhatsApp world, whatever, or in social media like this. So does he? Yeah.
Actually, that's a great point because I sometimes, for example, when the US elections are happening a few years ago, I had a certain perspective and he asked me like, what makes you have this opinion? So I explained. I said, these things are important to me as a woman. These things are important to me as a society. So hence my political leaning this way. So it was actually, I think that's the first time he had asked me to explain why I was so nervous answering that day.
Okay.
Yeah. He came and stayed with us in the US and he asked me, why do you support this party or why do you lean this way? So I actually gave him 2-3 things. Yeah. And then to your point, I will also sometimes bring up saying, I see this in, my children's age children, this kind of behavior, this kind of dressing. And he'll say, yeah, what do you think about that? I'll say, whatever it is. Or I'll say, I saw this on Instagram. Do you know about this? He said, no, I don't know about it. So things like that. So you're right. In a way, certain things I send it to him for his attention.
When you talk to people and you bring in the world perspective, then definitely it kinds of looks at, okay, this is how things are and this is how the world is moving towards.
And for somebody who doesn't have the level of clarity as he does, some things could be a question mark for me. So those things I bring up with him. Yeah.
There are a lot of times I used to wonder how he's so updated.
Yeah.
Just not with the news, but even people's psyche itself. Many times.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Because I also wonder, he is an enlightened being. He's on a different level of perception and understanding of the world. How is he still able to relate to us, regular people with all our problems and biases? That's like, you're spot on, actually. I also wonder, how is it that he's able to relate that we might be thinking this way? Because he sees it like that. How he's given his every drop of everything in his being and beyond to what? To what exactly? Is it personal? Some building something for himself? Clearly not. It's that endless compassion for humanity. In fact, I think last time I met him, I said, Sadhguru, how do you have so much compassion for fools like us? Do you not get tired?
So when we died to see Sadhguru, and even if he comes, I don't know if he comes and asks, like, tell me, like, what do you want? I don't think there is an answer, or if there is any question that I need to ask, I don't have. I don't think I would like to be around him physically. He's there. Namaskaram and tears count. That's a different thing. What it is to be with Sadhguru up close. And there is a possibility that you could have taken him for granted a lot of times, because he's always available, accessible, a phone call, a message. Did you see that, I'm having a privilege, and did any point of time, did you trip and take him for granted?
I don't believe I've taken this immense privilege for granted in that sense. I appreciate that I have access than most people. And I truly value it. I wouldn't say I've taken advantage of it. I've also seen him in different phases, which sort of correlate to him also talking about being much more intense in the early days, a lot more easygoing, the last few years. I would say maybe when I was in my 20s and 30s, like you said, I would also be scared of, what he might say to me or what question he might ask me. There was a little bit of that intimidation in that sense, although he was obviously very warm and loving and all that. But I would not seek out to go, can I come for dinner or something? I would not do that. I would say the last 10 years or so, there's definitely a change in demeanor, even towards all of us. The way he talks to us, he's like a father figure to me, just like he is to everyone else. That love and compassion. And he'll always ask, how the kids doing? How's Jay doing? How's your mother-in-law doing? He's just so caring in that sense.
You only reached out to him when you absolutely need. And but then you were saying that there was a time once I used to take him for granted. So what did you mean by that?
No, I don't think I've ever taken him for granted. No.
Not at all?
No.
So he was always a guru.
That shift happened, and the meaning of what that signified deepened over the years. He was my guru, all right, for, say, since my mid-20s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told you, from uncle I went to Sadhguru.
The Kailash.
Yeah, at least I started addressing him Sadhguru, even if I didn't truly understand the depth of what that meant. But as I've grown older, as I've gone through life, that has taken a much more deeper meaning. And as I said, being here, intensifying my sadhana, even more so. Just the gateway that he is.
How do you want your kids to look at Sadhguru as? No.
So I can answer the taking for granted sometimes from their perspective. Because sometimes they take it very lightly. Like, okay, he's coming home or we're going to his house. Like, okay. And I tell them, okay, when you see him, say Namaskaram Sadhguru, how are you Sadhguru? Give things to your right hand. The mom's reminders that we give. So I feel like I don't see that sense of appreciation in them.
No, that's the Akka, that they may not really understand who the person is. But I'm asking you as a mother who reveres Sadhguru so much, like he's the, suppose we have to rank people, he's the topmost.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you want your kids to look at Sadhguru? Not now, maybe at some point of time. Right now, it could be like Sadhguru is my grandpa.
Yeah.
At some point of time, this transition will happen. So how do you want them to look at Sadhguru now and maybe at a later point of time?
I think, like you said, the meaning of what it means to have someone as your guru has to come to them on their own. It's not something I can tell them or influence them. But for what it's worth, I do want them to respect, deeply respect and appreciate the person he is for humanity. The amount of work, the relentless commitment and impact that he's made, at least that I always drill it into them. Saying, you don't have to have the same reverence as I do, but at least respect how much he does all the time, day in and day out for everyone, irrespective of who they are. So at least that respect I want them to have. That I drill into them.
You drill into them?
Yes. So in terms of upbringing, also a couple of instances. When we go to Tennessee and sometimes he'll only cook. And when he cooks, it's very spicy, the food.
Oh!
So once he had made this masala annamo with the...
What's masala annam?
Which is
Masala rice.
methi rice.
Methi rice.
Masala bath. It was so spicy, and now my kids are a lot better with spice, but those days they used to really struggle. So they were like struggling to eat it. And I'm asking for yogurt, I'm asking for ghee. And then I remember he said, "Yem mani bidlo, Telugu matladaledu, karam bojanalu tinaledu, yem penchutandamma." So yeah, after that we put them in Telugu school.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they can understand. They used to speak Telugu. They stopped speaking Telugu.
So somewhere, when Sadhguru was saying, how did you raise your children? They're not eating this, that. Do you see that he wants the children to be deeply rooted? Any other instances you saw that he kind of commented on your parenting?
So yesterday we went for breakfast and my girls were wearing kurta pajama, but they were not wearing their bindis because they're inconsistent with that. And he was like, "Yeah, my day, bot petko kayalma villo." Then I was like, "Yes, Sadhguru, sometimes." He's like, "If not bottu, at least kumkum, vibhuti, something. Just there's a significance to it." And we as a culture, we've been so loose about it that we've not sort of insisted on these things because they're like, it's okay. But he's like, it's time to impress upon the children that it is important. There's a certain significance. There's a certain spiritual significance also, in addition to the cultural aspect, that you should wear a bottu when you go out.
To hear this from Sadhguru,
Yeah.
see, he has always mentioned it from a spiritual, perspective. He has answered a lot on. He has spoken a lot about kumkum, about vibhuti, this agnya, so many things, But to look at children and say this, they're barren, their food is barren, and insisting that we should instill this among the children from a very young age. Okay, not to all the parents. Okay.
Yes.
You put your children here, and you also came. Somewhere when you were confused, you asked Sadhguru, I'm not too sure, and he said, "Okay, just come." So does it mean that Sadhguru pays more attention to your children being comfortable here, because somewhere he also made a decision or made you take a decision?
Right.
Do you see that he being a little more available to them, or in some sort giving them more attention?
I wouldn't say that. He's definitely concerned about their well-being in the sense, have they adjusted well? Are they eating well? Studies, all of those questions he does ask. But I have to say that the love and compassion I see in his eyes when he sees my children is identical to what I see when he comes to homeschool and the children stand up to ask him a question. Just his eyes are shining, cheeks, he's smiling, the love, and then the way he talks to the Samskriti kids. And a couple of times we met him in like a cafe or something when he's riding the bike from, say, Tennessee to Philadelphia. We meet him in a Starbucks somewhere. The last time, actually, there was a cute little kid, an American kid running around. And the love and compassion he had in his eyes towards that kid is the same. So as much as I'd like to say that I see a little extra love for my children, sure, there's care. But I see the same compassion to any child.
In many ways, I think as I sit through this interview and how all the guests who come here has given answers, he's just the same on and off the camera.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So we used to look for a little bit of masala stuff here and there. But I think it's, I don't know how someone could be like this.
Yeah.
It means this is just his nature.
Mm-hmm.
No wearing any
Yes.
sort of makeup.
Yeah, that's right.
Not taking any kind of a personality.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
the way he is anywhere.
Absolutely.
I think we are coming to the close of this wonderful interaction. One thing we keep asking people, we don't want to leave this question out. Sadhguru has gone through a very major life-threatening surgery 2 years back. And then it again one more the same year. We, his volunteers, are part of himself.
Mm-hmm.
It was a different thing. I mean, I don't want to crack up, but it was very difficult. You being a family member and seeing what he went through, how did you take it?
So I still remember the way I got the news. It was a Sunday morning for me in the US. I woke up to a text from my dad saying, Maanya, I have some really bad news. Sadhguru's had a major surgery. He's fine. He's under observation. That broke something in me. I could not function. I was crying all day. I was waiting for news. And I think this was before it was publicly released. I mean, we've seen the way he relentlessly gives himself. So one part of me was like, why can't he take care of himself? Why? Like, you're so important. What are you doing not taking care of your health? We need you. In a way, that cemented a few things in my head. I thought to myself, what am I waiting for? I should not be waiting any longer. I wanted to go. I should go. But the thought of almost losing him was unbearable. I could not function. In office, I was crying. At home, I was crying. The worst day in my life, getting that news.
So, Sadhguru being physically available to us is very important. It's very precious. Have you seen him? Have you experienced him beyond his physical presence? Or have you gone to a stage where he being physically present doesn't matter to you anymore? Where are you?
It would be unbearable to even think.
Have you ever thought the day will come?
I don't want to think about it. I'm scared to even, I'm sure he knows, but I don't want to know.
I'm sorry about it, Akka. It's not the intention. Okay, I would like to end this podcast with a profuse apology for making you cry. So, and the people here are saying that I should end with a very humorous question. So, okay, tell us a joke that Sadhguru told.
After I had my second child, every call starts with, so mother hen, how's it going? Are you having any more children? I'm like, no, Sadhguru, I'm done.
For the second child.
Yeah, he's teased me so much about it.
So during all your years with him, at different point, different kind of insistence could be there.
Mm-hmm.
Off late, what is he insisting you to be or to do, whatever?
I would say even the few years before I came here, he had asked me to go into silence, which I did 3 years ago. But since coming here, especially, the only question he always asks me is, are you keeping up with your sadhana? Be intense. Go all in. So that is one thing he always keeps a tab on.
Okay, that's a message to all our volunteers, also all of us, all the meditators. The one thing that Sadhguru has been particular and keeps insisting is, are you on with your sadhana?
Yeah. So I was, I think at one dinner or something with Sadhguru, I mentioned that we teachers play badminton after dinner and I'm enjoying it. He's like, oh, really? That's nice. Then he said, y'all play well? I said, I'm okay. I said, not like you, Sadhguru. You play full on. He's like, is there any other way to play? Because we all preserve. We're like, we don't want to tear a hamstring or we don't want to twist an ankle. So daintily we play. But he's all in. Everything is all in. So I was like, yeah, actually, why do we always preserve ourselves? Why don't we play all in?
Okay, that's a great message. Full on.
Full on. Yeah, life is on. You gotta be full on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Namaskaram, Akka.
It's been one of the most brilliant conversations we had, just to see how Sadhguru was with the children, with relatives, with sisters, with family members.
Yeah.
The kind of care and compassion he shows. I always thought Sadhguru is more of a nomad. Just roams around, and he doesn't want to have a family. He doesn't want to, his life is dedicated towards the whole planet. But to see this version of Sadhguru is very enriching.
Yeah.
It's not that, I think many volunteers go through this. Okay, for me, everything is Isha, family comes again, no? And it kind of becomes a burden. Family becomes a burden. Isha is liberating.
Yes.
Activities, volunteering is awesome.
Yeah.
But family is somewhere, but just the way Sadhguru is and the kind of care he has given, every little opportunity, trying to meet with the family members just to ensure they are doing well.
Yeah.
I think this is a huge, huge lesson to all of us volunteers, just to see and pay attention to our family members also.
Yes.
Great message.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes,